Hello, welcome to Football Focus, your number one destination for the latest football news. Transfer updates, match analysis, breaking stories, and everything happening around the football. If you're new in this channel, please remember to subscribe, share, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss any important football updates. Part 2. The Secret Meetings. How Hansi Flick chose Julian Álvarez as the face of Barcelona's future. While the football world focused on transfer rumours, social media speculation and newspaper headlines, something much bigger was happening behind closed doors. Something that could change the future of Barcelona forever. Inside the club's offices, discussions had already begun. Hansi Flick was planning, analysing, preparing. The German coach knew that extending his contract until 2028 would bring enormous expectations. If he was going to commit the most important years of his career to Barcelona, he wanted more than promises. He wanted a project capable of conquering Europe. He wanted a team capable of competing against every giant on the continent. Most importantly, he wanted players who shared his mentality. Players willing to sacrifice everything for victory. Players who never stop fighting. Players who refused to accept defeat. And after months of evaluation, one name continued appearing at the very top of his list. Julian Álvarez. According to reports, Flick was fascinated by the Argentine forward's qualities. Not just his goals, not just his trophies, not just his reputation, but his mentality. Every great team needs leaders, not always leaders who speak the loudest. Sometimes the most dangerous leaders are the ones who let their football do the talking. Álvarez belongs to that category. Every sprint, every tackle, every pressing action, every run into space, every goal, everything he does reflects commitment. And that commitment reportedly convinced Flick that he could become one of the pillars of Barcelona's future. As negotiations regarding Flick's contract extension progressed, discussions about squad planning became increasingly important. The coach reportedly presented a vision of a Barcelona capable of dominating matches through intensity, intelligence, and relentless attacking football. A Barcelona that would once again make opponents fear Champions League nights at Camp Nou. A Barcelona capable of returning to the summit of world football. Club executives listened carefully because they knew something important. When Hansi Flick won the Champions League with Bayern Munich, he did not succeed by accident. He built a machine, a team that attacked relentlessly, pressed aggressively, and overwhelmed opponents with incredible intensity. Now, many believe he wants to recreate that formula in Barcelona, but every great system needs the right players. And Flick reportedly believes Julian Álvarez is one of those players. The more Barcelona studied the possibility, the more attractive it became. A World Cup winner, a proven goal scorer, a versatile attacker. Still young enough to improve, experienced enough to handle pressure. The profile seemed almost perfect. Soon, conversations intensified. The possibility that once seemed distant began feeling increasingly realistic. Meanwhile, supporters around the world remained unaware of what was unfolding. They continued discussing potential signings, speculating about tactics, debating transfer targets. But behind the scenes, one operation was quietly gathering momentum. The operation to bring Julian Álvarez to Barcelona. For many inside the club, the potential signing represented much more than adding another attacker. It represented a statement, a declaration that Barcelona intended to compete with the very best once again. For years, rival clubs questioned whether Barcelona could still attract elite players. Financial difficulties created doubts. Media criticism created uncertainty. Some believed the club had lost its power, but Barcelona's history carries a unique weight. Few clubs in football can match its legacy. Few clubs can offer the opportunity to follow in the footsteps of legends. And that history reportedly played an important role during discussions. Because joining Barcelona is never just about football. It is about becoming part of something bigger. A tradition, a culture, a dream shared by millions. As negotiations progressed, excitement inside the club reportedly continued to grow. The coaching staff began imagining how Álvarez would fit into Flick's system. The possibilities seemed endless. A striker capable of leading the line, an attacker capable of creating space, a player capable of linking midfield and attack, a footballer capable of turning half chances into goals. The more they analysed his qualities, the clearer the picture became. This was not simply a transfer opportunity. This was a strategic move, a move designed to accelerate Barcelona's return to the elite level of European football. But the road ahead remained difficult. Other clubs were watching. Other clubs were interested. Competition existed. And everyone understood that securing the signature of a player like Julian Álvarez would never be simple. The battle had only just begun. Yet Barcelona possessed one powerful advantage: a vision. Players often choose projects, and Barcelona's project was becoming increasingly attractive. Young stars already formed the foundation: Pedri, Gavi, Lamine Yamal, a generation capable of defining the next decade. Now imagine adding a world-class striker entering his prime years. Suddenly the future looks very different. Suddenly trophies feel closer. Suddenly dreams become realistic. That is why supporters have become so excited. Because this is not merely about one transfer, it is about what that transfer represents. Hope, ambition, belief. The feeling that Barcelona is moving forward again. The feeling that the club is building towards something special. The feeling that another golden era may be approaching. Inside Catalonia, anticipation continues growing. Every rumour creates headlines. Every report generates discussion. Every update fuels excitement. The football world senses that something important may be happening. And if the operation succeeds, the consequences could be enormous, not only for Barcelona, but for European football as a whole. Because a strong Barcelona changes everything. A confident Barcelona challenges everyone. A Barcelona led by Hansi Flick and strengthened by elite talent becomes a serious threat. The project is growing. The dream is becoming clearer. The foundations are being laid. And somewhere behind closed doors, plans continue to evolve. Plans designed to transform Barcelona from a rebuilding club into a conquering club. From hopeful contenders into champions. From dreamers into rulers. But while supporters celebrate the possibility of Julian Álvarez arriving, another question remains unanswered. How exactly would Hansi Flick build his unstoppable Barcelona around him? What tactical role would the Argentine play? And could this partnership become the combination that brings the Champions League back to Camp Nou? The answers may change everything. To be continued.